Hey guys, PokéDan here. With Sword and Shield being newly released, we've gotten even more Pokemon to fangirl over and to fall in love with. And while some are a bit lackluster in my opinion and deserve their own list, others are pretty damn cool and I wanted to celebrate my love for them. So today you join me in discussing my top 10 favourite Pokemon from Sword and Shield. Do remember guys that this is all just in my own opinion and there are way more than just 10 Pokemon I love from Galar. But obviously I couldn't include them all. That being said, be sure to let me know some of your favourites down in the comments section. But anyway, let's get started with the video. So kicking off this list, I was torn between Dragapult and Centiskorch. However, the latter only just managed to win me over. Whilst the pseudo-legendary for Galar is pretty awesome in its own right, I remember the first time I saw Centiskorch in the leaks, and it was one of my early favourites for the new games. Unfortunately, I've not had the chance to actually use this Pokemon on my team yet, but when I get a spare copy of Pokemon Sword next week, if I manage to run into its pre-evolution in the wild, it might just be a mon that I'll have to use. Also, the bug and fire typing is awesome. Well, not for rock types, but on my teams, I just love variety. Next up on the list, we have a Pokemon that became an instant fan favourite when it was first revealed in the build-up for the games, and that Pokemon is Corvin AIDS. Unlike Centiskorch, this is actually a Pokemon that I've managed to use on my team, and in all honesty, the squad probably would have been just fine without its inclusion. However, I can't completely dismiss Corvin AIDS because admittedly it did help out and it does have one sick design. I mean, looking at this thing, along with Staraptor, it's easily hands down one of my favourite early bird Pokemon. And its additional typing of Steel makes sure that it can tank a few hits too. Which is the better Steel flying type? For me, it's Corvin AIDS. Sorry, Krammer. From one badass bird to one that's admittedly not quite as badass but I still love it anyway, it is Krammer. One mistake I feel I made on my playthrough was not picking up this Pokemon to use on my team as soon as I saw it. Before the games were released, I didn't think much of this Pokemon when I saw it in the trailers. In fact, I thought it was pretty dumb. However, as time has passed, Krammer has grown on me quite a lot. Its derpy design is just amazing, and it's definitely a Pokemon I could see a character like James catching in the anime. You know, for the Krammer to then end up trying to eat James's head or something like that whenever it's sent out into battle. I suppose the point I'm trying to get across is that I love this Pokemon for its derpiness. To me, it is just so lovable, so it earned its spot on this list. Up next is a Pokemon that I originally planned to use on my team, but I ended up not catching, being Graplocked. When I first saw Clobopus in the leaks, I instantly fell in love with this Pokemon's cuteness, and seeing its evolution made me love it even more. I mean, an octopus that fights and isn't afraid to chase you on land or water? Truly, Graplocked is a badass Pokemon. Also, is it just me, or does Clobopus really seem like the kind of Pokemon that Ash will end up catching in the anime? I could imagine this Pokemon being a lot like Scraggy, always wanting to start a fight with someone, but also being a crazy character. I think that it's a Pokemon Ash could really do with on his team. On top of all of this, I just really like Graplocked's design. It looks so cool, and I think it's one of the best designed Pokemon introduced in Gen 8. Coming in at the number 6 spot is the only Galar evolution on my list, and it is Mr. Rime. Back in Gen 7, Alola Forms was a feature that I was a big fan of, and to be honest, I was surprised it was a feature that was brought back for this gen. I don't know, it just seemed like something everyone loved that would be too good to be true if it returned. But hey ho, thankfully regional variants did make it into Gen 8. And we got a whole new batch of Pokemon who got some newfound love with a Galarian form. Of course, Mr. Mime was one of these Pokemon, changing into an Ice and Psychic type. And whereas some people aren't too keen on this Pokemon, for me, it's the opposite. I actually used a Galarian Mr. Mime on my in-game team. and it was a decent addition to the party. When it evolved, I fell in love with Mr. Rhyme, and the tap dancing it would just break into as soon as it was sent out into battle. Fair to say, this Galarian evolution is one that I just adore. Coming in at the number 5 spot is a Pokemon that I feel has fast become a fan favourite amongst the community, and it is Hattery. If you've seen my previous video, you know that this is a Pokemon that I used on my in-game team, and for a lot of my playthrough, it really came in clutch, helping me get some wins in battles that other Pokemon couldn't handle. Also, if you saw my last video, you know that I never planned to use this Psychic type. But when I was playing through the game and saw Hattery in the wild, I couldn't not catch it and use it on my team. There's another reason why I like Hattery so much, and that's because of competitive battling. Whilst I was breeding a competitive Hattery, I managed to hatch a shiny, and when I saw those sparkles on the screen, I lost my mind. It's such a cool shiny, and it's made me like the Pokemon even more as a whole. Chilling out at number 4 is Ice-Q. Now originally this isn't a Pokemon that I liked or even considered would grow on me. When I first saw it, I thought it looked too much like a penguin, and I'm not usually a fan of those types of Pokemon that look too much like the animal or creature that they're based off of. I say this, but when I was completing my Pokédex and had to catch this Pokemon, a 2% encounter by the way, thanks Game Freak, never getting that half hour of my life back. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. Catching this Pokemon. When I was completing the Pokédex and ran into this ice type, I couldn't help but fall in love with it. I don't know why, but when I first saw it for myself, it was only then that it grew on me. Ice-Q is adorable. It just is, and not gonna lie, I wish I used it on my team. So on a future playthrough, I won't make this mistake again. On top of this, Ice-Q shiny is awesome, and it was quite funny listening to the pain my friend Alpha was in when he was hunting for it. He hatched loads of eggs, but he did eventually get the shiny, and yeah, it's a hunt that I might just attempt in the near future for myself. Making it at the number 3 spot on today's list, we have my starter, Rillaboom. For me, all the first stage starters had so much potential to be one of the best trios, but when I saw their final evolutions, there wasn't one that I particularly loved. However, I remember really not liking Inteleon at first, but I gotta say it has grown on me since. So yeah, there wasn't one starter that I really wanted to use. But of course, I did keep my starter on my team, and honestly, Rillaboom came in clutch on so many occasions. So yeah, it wouldn't really be fair to dismiss it by not mentioning the starter in my favourite video. I did enjoy using Rillaboom, and I now love all 3 stages of this evolution line. So this grass starter has earned its spot in my top 3. Taking the runner-up spot this time round, we have none other than Dracovish. What with its use in competitive battling, this Pokemon has become a fan favourite, and one that everyone wants to use, but my love for Dracovish goes further back than when everyone started liking it for its competitive use. On my Pokemon Shield team, this fossil Pokemon took up the 5th slot in my party, as I really wanted to use a water type on my playthrough. Funny enough, when I first saw Dracovish, I really didn't like it, and I was pretty sure of the fact that this wasn't going to be a Pokemon that would just grow on me. But lo and behold, I was yet again wrong. Whenever I play with this Pokemon in the camp feature and it chases the ball toy, it just makes me think of it as a big dog. I know that makes no sense because it's a fish, but yeah, it doesn't matter either way because I love Dracovish. Okay, so we know that the number 1 spot isn't taken up by my starter Pokemon, so who is it? Well, I can reveal that my favourite Pokemon from Galar is Coalossal. I've spoken about this Pokemon in my previous video, but yeah, it was a strong member of my in-game team that I could always rely on in battle. As well as Coalossal, I love its entire evolution line. They're just all really cool. Outside of its use on my in-game team, Coalossal has also helped me in breeding for my competitive team due to its ability Flame Body. Looking at this Pokemon, I really like its design. It looks so badass, and this, as well as the fact that it's helped me out so much in Pokemon Shield, is the reason it's my favourite Gen 8 Pokemon. But anyway guys, with all that being said, that pretty much wraps things up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Also, be sure to let me know who your favourite Gen 8 Pokemon are down in the comment section. But with all that being said, for now, I've been PokéDan, you've been amazing, and I'll see you guys next time.